Linda Evans just turned 40, but for her, it's no midlife crisis. She's beautiful, she's loved, she's happy, and she's successful. As the sensuous Crystal Carrington on Dynasty, she's become one of television's hottest sex symbols this season, playing opposite John Forsythe as her oil billionaire husband. Television audiences may have forgotten their first appearance together.
I'm Liz McGavin.
Bentley Gregg.
The year was 1960. Linda was 18 and not yet blonde when she made a guest appearance as an ingenue in Forsythe's television series, Bachelor Father.
You're the stormy petrel of high school show business, huh?
Oh, just another class night. Laughs and jokes, rah, rah. You've seen one, you've seen them all.
But her career break came in 1965 when she starred with Barbara Stanwyck in The Big Valley. She stayed with the show for 4 years until she met John Derek and gave up stardom for love. It was Derek who took charge of her career then, directing her in films and taking nude pictures of her, which appeared in Playboy magazine. John Derek divorced Ursula Andress to marry Linda, then divorced Linda to marry Beau, which Linda talks about for the first time tonight. It was the success of the movie 10 and the stardom of Beau Derek which made headlines about Derek's look-alike wives. After Linda's divorce from John Derek, she married Beverly Hills realtor Stan Herman. She divorced Herman in 1979, and she said it wasn't until the last couple of years of being single and the success of Dynasty that she learned who Linda Evans really is. The success of Dynasty means that Linda does not have a lot of time to spend in her Beverly Hills home. Her day usually begins at 5:30 in the morning. Nevertheless, she says she's happier than she's ever been.
Did you do this house yourself, all the decorations, everything?
Yeah, my first time. I said, well, I'm going to find out if I have good taste or bad taste.
Who did the other houses, the husbands?
Well, the house was already established with John, and Stan, being in real estate, had a lot of decorating.
Aha. This is all you.
Yep, it's me.
The house is small, warm, and charmingly decorated. It has an expensive and glamorous look, but is a far cry from the opulent Carrington mansion on Dynasty. Although Linda says she does not like pictures of herself, she does have this portrait, a personal favorite given her by Barbara Stanwyck. The furnishings and decor are pastel, creamy, soft, and inviting. Linda shares her life these days with Beverly Hills restaurateur George Santopiedro, but she shares her home only with her 4 cats. When she's not at her boyfriend's restaurant, she entertains with small, intimate dinners. But unlike most Beverly Hills hostesses, she does her own cooking.
I didn't have time to go out shopping.
She gets such raves for her dinners that last year she published her favorite recipes in a cookbook and gave it to her friends as Christmas presents.
What are you making for us?
Chocolate roll. Julia Child always shows the end result,
Oh,
so
my
I
dear.
have one myself. Here we go.
Bravo.
Well,
Just this little something that I whipped up.
It's a little something for us to snack on when we're through.
What to a degree?
Linda doesn't have to watch her figure, but she did build a gym in her home, and she works out there every day with weights, a ritual John Derek insisted upon.
Do you think you're beautiful? I know that's a terrible question, but when you look in the mirror, are you pleased?
You know what I'm pleased with when I look in the mirror? My eyes. That pleases me a lot.
Why?
My eyes. When I see who I am and where I've come from and how I feel, that pleases me more than all this.
Linda, you've just turned 40. How do you feel about that?
Terrific. I love it. I don't know, everybody puts such a thing on age, about getting older. To me, getting older is a magical experience.
Why?
Because we're so much wiser.
You think everybody gets wiser as they get older?
Oh, hopefully. Hopefully we've learned. Hopefully all the struggling when you're young and all the things that you do that are wrong and that don't work out, that you've learned by them and changed because of it.
So 50 will be better than 40 and 60 better than 50?
Isn't it great?
Even if you're not as beautiful?
Well, I think you'll be more beautiful.
Are you anything like the character that you play? Are you anything like Crystal Carrington?
Let's say Crystal is a lot like I used to be. She lives for love. Very trusting. She hasn't learned to speak up for herself.
You have said, most of my life I was dominated by men and saw myself the way they saw me. How did they see you? How do you see you?
They saw me not threatening because I was very loving, very willing to change. I live my life for them. I would think that would be pretty nice. You're a man. You But I have changed since then.
But if you met a man who said, listen, darling, I'm very busy, and, you know, we're traveling, and we're this, and we're that, and it isn't going to work unless you stop doing this. And now you've made it in Dynasty. Big part. Could you say, okay, I'll walk away from that?
It's never been hard for me to give up work.
Oh,
See, that's
Linda,
the problem.
I want you to say, of course not. Now I found myself.
Well, no, but you don't understand. I enjoy doing Dynasty. I enjoy all of this. It would be that the other would have to be so filling and so rewarding that I wouldn't care.
As fulfilling as acting?
Yeah.
What about ambition? Drive?
I've never got any ambition or
You
any
haven't
drive.
got any.
I never have. Mm-mm.
And it didn't come as you got older or got the parts, or still not there?
Mm-mm.
So you do this because you're happy with it, and that's about it?
I'm thrilled that it's an exciting thing to do. I enjoy it. I enjoy the people. I enjoy the challenge. I've learned a lot about myself, but it's not something I couldn't give up.
What was the best time of your life?
Now. Yeah.
What was the worst time?
I would say when my dad died, my mom died, and the situation with John and Bo.
When you met John Derek, you were 21. Do you remember how you felt? Do you remember what you thought of him?
Oh, sure.
What?
I had a picture of him over my bed when I was about 14 years old. Tab Hunter and John Derek. I had pictures of them over my bed, and every night I'd come in and look at them. And I found out that he was married and had children. I was devastated, just horrified. I thought, well, there's no chance. And when I was doing Big Valley, I got a phone call that he wanted to shoot some pictures of me. And I thought, how interesting to meet this man that had been over my bed all those years, to see what he's really like. And that's how we met.
And when you met him, you had a big part in the series, The Big Valley, and you gave it up for him.
Well, I didn't give it up. I tried to quit the show. And they didn't want me to quit, so I did less shows so I could spend more time with him.
What does John Derek do that makes a woman feel so wonderful, or that makes the life so wonderful?
When you're with John, you're the only woman that exists in the world. He spends the entire day on you, photographing you, loving you, made me clothes, boots. I've got a beaded jacket with beads that say I love you and different little notes in the beads on them. He spends a lot of time making you feel important and caring about you.
But your husband went to make a movie in Greece with a 16-year-old girl. You encouraged him to do that? You were even to some degree working in the film, weren't you?
Mm.
Yeah. And then you come back to visit and find out that he's in love with her. He didn't tell you himself. How do you stand it? What do you do? How do you feel?
You have to live. You have to go on. You can't control how somebody feels about somebody else. If somebody falls in love with somebody else, there's nothing you can do about the heart, anything about the heart. You know, I could only leave him and see if he wanted to stay with her.
Did you hate him?
For a while, yeah.
Did you hate her? Did you hate Bo?
Oh, I hated all of
Anyway.
the whole situation,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
You weren't the
I was
wonderful...
very angry.
Not the wonderful, sweet, patient, kind, understanding Linda.
No.
How do you feel when people talk about how much you and Bo look alike?
Well, I'm flattered. I think she's quite attractive. Sometimes I use it to my advantage when I don't have any makeup on and people ask me if I'm Bo. I say yes. So I think
Really?
that's her running around looking like that. We do look alike. It would be silly to say we don't look alike. When I first met her, we didn't really look that much alike. I didn't think. I mean, we were blonde. She's sort of grown into that look. I like her. She's my friend, so it would be difficult for me. You see, you're talking about on the hand of the woman who's the woman that's with my ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also my friend.
How, Linda? I mean, we read that you and John Derek's, what was his second wife, Ursula Andress, and you and Bo are all great friends. You went to his birthday party, all of you wearing the same T-shirt with his picture on your chest or back or whatever. I mean, how do you get, it's all just too chummy.
Well, this is how I see it. If he had been married to two women that I didn't like, I wouldn't be friends with him. I didn't want to like Ursula. I couldn't stand Ursula. I'd heard about her for years before I met her, and she'd send John notes, and I thought, who is this ex-wife still hanging around here? I didn't like it at all. One day she showed up at the front door, and I opened it up, and I looked at her. I said, aha, here she is in front of me. And my heart just went out to her. I liked her a lot.
And Bo?
Well, Bo was such a little girl, such an innocent little young girl, and we worked out together for almost a year. This is when John was going to do the film with her, and he was getting her ready to do the film. I grew to be very fond of her as a person. I liked who she was. She's just a child.
Is she still?
No, she's very grown up.
Why be friendly with them at all?
Well, I suppose that I could decide not to talk to them to make people feel better, but I would feel a loss.
How do you feel, Linda, when people say that John Derek exploits his women?
I never felt exploited. I can only answer for me.
Did you regret at all the years that you didn't work?
I don't regret one thing in my entire life.
If a fairy godmother walked in here and said, I will give you 3 wishes, what would you ask for?
Peace on earth. That I could have a husband and a child and experience that for the rest of my life. And third, I don't even know what.
You are the only one I think I could talk to who, given 3 wishes, could only think of 2.